Hey guys, Tyrant here bringing you a 2v2 today. We're on Moscow Outskirts. Actually spawning in the north we have numbers with Brits, who has Lease Assault locked in. Xkos with Airborne as US forces. In the south we have Darthplebius with OKW, who has Grand Offensive, Overwatch and Luftwaffe. And finally ed80hertz with Ostheer, Encirclement, Storm and Lightning War. This is a Patreon back submitted game. In terms of rankings here, random on the Allied side. I think xkos just above 200, about 210. Numbers is around 300. And the Axis are around 600 as an arranged team. I think Ed is around 110 with Wehrmacht. Random 2s. Darthplebius is I think around 600 with OKW random 2s. Maybe 800.
Battalion just reported Pathfinders ready for action.
MG's going to try jump into the building here. Bit of a dangerous move from it. It easily just gets circled around and forced out. Pathfinder's holding their position. Often doing the run around. While the rear echelon continue to fire. Ed trying to trick him in. Oh, but accidentally shot at the rear echelon, not the rifleman. Riflemen hold their ground, start blasting. The pyros, though, also standing their ground. Do eventually force away the riflemen. They did well on the model drops and the rear echelon. They're going to get forced away as well. Meanwhile, it's an assault section start on the other side. They're typically very strong in these early phases. It's tough for Darthplebius, who's going for 3 squads into tech. Oh, 4 assault sections. That is a huge number. Should give a lot of field presence early on. From what I remember, they still have their capture rate bonus, right? Maybe I'm wrong about that. I thought they didn't get that capture rate removed. Okay. Don't want to charge head on into 2 squads like that without superior numbers. Probably could have, like with this. These 2 and then this one coming in from the side. I think he would have been able to overwhelm Darth, but alright. Tech's coming up now. Okay, charging in now with 3 assault sections. An earlier retreat there from Darth. Just drops a lot of health. This one trying to hold on out the side here with a bit of light cover. A lot of retreats through the centre of the map though. Pathfinders advancing. So a lot of infantry early on. Went for riflemen and 3 Pathfinders. Both the allies with a huge amount of infantry to start off the match. Should lead to a lot of territory control. Pathfinder's going to make use of the heavy cover over here. Hope to get the decap off in time. Section's backing away, taking quite a few volleys. The full OKW force is here now. He's already got the tech up and maybe waiting for a bit of fuel close to a flak half track. But at the moment the fuel is decaptured, so it's coming in quite slowly. It's often, you know, can be a problem if you're trying these kind of strategies. A flak half track rush with only 3 squads. You do lose map control. Oh, a machine gun couldn't quite get the shot off. Rather than get off to the side. Can end up costing you a lot of territory control during this timing, around the 5 to 7 minute window. 222 in the build for Ed though, and xkos should be quite late getting an anti-air half-track, for instance, if he's going to go for it. Since he did go for the extra squad, delays the captain, delays the tech, delays the AA half-track. Not even going to go for that though, going to go for an ambulance. So 222 should have a field day now. The one squad that potentially could have snares doesn't even have it yet because it hasn't ticked mechanized. This 222 should be going to town right now. Anti-tank gun for numbers. So he's also not going to go for... Well, might still go for a quad, but nowhere near that in terms of command points to this point. Bit slow starting the chase here, Darthplebius. Looks like that squad's going to get away. Bit of negative cover. Could have cost him his life. I think what ideally needs to happen is... Oh! Okay, I didn't see that squad in retreat path. That does end up falling. Here comes the flak half-track now as well for Darthplebius. He's got a machine gun. Starting to cause some issues. Could throw out a smoke there if he wanted to. A T-gun rolling out. 222 chasing down the rear echelon. Has decaptured a lot of Ed's points though. He's got a lot of capture work to do. Oh! I think that was an attack ground job, and there goes the flak half-track. Didn't last too long. A half-track is in the build for xkos. So yeah, I mean, you quite often, especially if we see like a supervised build, you can sometimes see these out at 5 minutes 30 with a really perfect timing. As it stands, it's going to be about 8 minutes 30. It's gone for a mortar now, the GG mortar. Strong positions out on this side now. But here comes a big old blob, and all of them upgraded now with the Thompsons. Gonna need to be sharp with the machine gun positioning, and even then, you know, they do have the smoke grenades, so can still get overwhelmed. Trying to suppress, doing a decent job of it, but there's the smoke. Squad flanking, has to retreat. You're trying to get a cache down there. This is not going to go well. He went for grenades on his rifleman. He's got one squad. Why did he do that? Oh, late retreat from Darthplebius. You got to be careful with a blob this big. Cannot be hanging about. Might even be worth just retreating the stern pirate shortly. Very strange choice to tick grenades. I can't understand that. He's got one squad that can take advantage of him. I suppose the captain could smoke as well. Oh no, that's a late cancel on the mine. It is indeed getting the half-track out. No quad though, doesn't have the munitions for it. And that is just looking nasty. Full firing line. No escape. Reinforcing everything from the half-track. It's a mine, only dropped 3 models I think to that one. Could have got off a lot worse, and look at the body block there as well. And with those Thompson upgrades, they have that extra bit of mid-range damage that really just helps with those chase down scenarios. Darthplebius going for another machine gun. It's an okay idea, But now with no infantry to support them, they're going to struggle. Another mine going off somewhere on the VP. Suppression kicking in. Gets a pin on this one. Here comes the half track though. These guys should be able to crawl out to the side. No. The pin came in just in the nick of time. Looks like Numbers enjoying the trash talk. Okay, Ed's machine gun needing to get out of there. Pack rolling up. I'm gonna roll out though. Oh, gets decrewed on that. The 222's coming in. Gonna jump back on it with the Grenadiers. Oh, that's a bad move from Ed though. Easily could have taken a snare and does actually. Fires are nearby though, not too far to go for repairs. A half track getting off to a pretty strong start it looks like as well. Making up for lost time. Second machine gun coming in from Ed. Often not that successful against, you know, Pathfinder since they have such long vision, but see how it gets on. And then from the side, power dropping the squad back here, but they're getting chopped up on the way down. 222, the Grenadiers trying to get into heavy cover now. They're already so low. The machine gun does end up getting overwhelmed. Throws out a grenade. Eyes avoid it. USAT gun rolls up though on the 222. Slow dodge from Ed. Luckily one of the shots misses. Connects with the tractor instead. Very lucky break from Ed. Needs to get out of there with this AT gun as well. It's losing all its support. Where's this Pathfinder going though? Oh, that was not pretty from xkos. Two squads inside the transport here. Only really need one, honestly, but maybe he's using the healing. Decrews the machine gun. Be able to steal that and recrew it, repopulate it very quickly with the transport right there. Rebuild on 2 Fox Grenadiers and now an Over squad. Probably the IR STG Overs would be the best counter, but as locked into Overwatch. And what could actually be quite good if he had the munitions spear would be a Goliath. I could imagine Goliath hiding around here. Baiting these squads in would be nasty. Oh boy. Darthplebius, I think, needs to just focus up on one area of the map, not try and spread out. It seems to be when he's spreading out, he's really resulting in the squad wipes. It's just too much lethality on this side, and then maybe doesn't have the unit control to focus on multiple areas. Throws away those overs. A half track come around the corner. Trying to bully this Pathfinder out of the building. Does eventually do so. And the church is getting quite low in health as well. And we can see it, but he could just go straight in for a kill here on the ambo. There's no support for it. Maybe use infantry awareness to do some detecting. Oh, here he goes. He's on prioritized vehicles. He's going in for the kill, but the 222 missed quite a few shots. Is he going to base dive? Doesn't look like it. Might be able to kill the captain now, though. There's another decent burst. There's a bit of need of cover here. Gets the captain kill. Chases away the ambo. Nicely done there by Ed. Another over now from Darthplebius. Forces have fallen behind on the VPs, but not critically. Haven't been triple capped that often. A dicey retreat from those units. One model. Very troubling. Yet making use of tactical movement. Almost never see this. Sprinting back onto the battlefield. Inside the building. Lucky to escape, honestly. One more good shot, I think, from the A half-track would have flattened it. 50 cal has rolled up. Good AT gun positioning from Ed. Goes into hold fire, dodging away. The flak base providing protection for Darthplebius, though. One thing that Numbers doesn't really have the counter to. I suppose he could push his AT gun up and try and siege it down, but doesn't look like he's going to try that. There's a 4 on the field now for Ed. Decent timing. Definitely hurt by the Allies constantly harassing this fuel point.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Here it comes. Pathfinder jumps out of the building early on. The T-gun's actually quite low for xkos. Could easily get overrun here. Didn't go for a second AT gun. Like we often see from these Pathfinder strategies. He's building a Sherman at this stage. Rolling in here with the full blob. Does a drop off. Quick kill on the machine gun. Ed though kills off that AT gun, so good result himself. One shot from the Raketten. Pops a speed boost, getting out of their numbers with the troop transport. The Panzer IV is in hot pursuit though. The AT gun not coming across to assist yet. It's looking to hold on to his machine gun. He's chasing all the way. Going to be in the base MG area though. Not going to be able to recover that. Oh, and Darthplebius losing his stern fire out on the edge. Getting out of there early on with the other one. He decided to chase in a bit too far there, right as a Comet and the Sherman arrives. And yeah, that was a bit much. I think once he got the kill on that, needs to get out. He goes for a second AT gun, which I think is a very good idea now that there's 2 tanks on the field from the Allies. Kitten sets up just out of the arc though. The Sherman rotates around, has to retreat. He's on high explosive as well. A lot of squad wipes for Darthplebius. Doesn't have a lot at the moment. Nearly decruised the M1 though. That would have been big from Ed. Oof. Cheeky stuff here with the 222. The AT gun sets up. The Sherman's rolling forwards. Could have got the kill there. Put it on prioritized vehicles. Just drove forwards a little bit further, but it's alright. Another over for Darthplebius. Ooh. AT gun overstaying its welcome there. Gets decrewed. It's going to try run forwards. Keep vision. A bit of artillery coming down. The Major, I believe. Before he retreated. So it does mean xkos' AT gun's still alive at this stage. He didn't manage to kill it in time. Panzer IV now for Darthplebius. Building guarding the side. Maybe the Sherman could rotate to deal with that. It's camped out in the center at the moment though. Making use of the heroic charge to help overwhelm the Overs. Oof, Overs clumped up in light cover there. Not good against the Sherman. AT guns from Ed weaseling their way forwards to line up on the A half track. Nice 1-2 punch there. There's Sherman rolls into the area. Also takes 2 shots. Good pick off. Opens up the planes as well, and both of the Axis have plane abilities. A little bit of body blocking here, combining up with the 2-2-2. Ooh. Doesn't escape. xkos suffering quite a few losses. The phosphorus attack groundwork from the Comet.
Under fire from enemy bastards! Ready to roll.
Numbers, of course, does still have this half track, so can upgrade that with the quad, I suppose. But yeah, probably won't have anti-air for the first airstrike. Not that the Axis are that close. I suppose Ed's the closest.
A capture point is being overrun.
Pretty similar though, really. Okay, Battle Phase 3 coming up from Ed. Feels like they've got enough of a VP buffer to make that work. Maybe considering a Tiger as well. Just need Battle Phase 3. You don't need that Tier 4 tech down. So it could be a Tiger on the cards. The Axis do probably need a bit more fuel if he wants to go straight for the Tiger. Probably needs to build a cache. Comet tries to go for a bit of a crush. Does actually take out one model. These are for bouncing. And getting out of there. xkos losing a rifleman up here. And then a paratrooper as well. What was that? Not sure, but Ed making the most of it. Maybe a bit of negative cover on that road. It's vicious. Quite a lot of negative cover on this map. There goes the Major. Jaeger lights now for Darthplebius. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. They're not very good against assault sections, but maybe the extra vision can give Darthplebius some assistance in handling them. That's the officers' artillery now. Again, making use of that heroic charge, chasing down a squad. Has been making pretty good use of this overall. For out back, waiting for repairs. Looks like Darthplebius is going to try go for the 3rd tech truck. A mechanized truck for repairs. It's going to be very slow though. I would advise going for a stern power instead. Keep coming across for the Comet. Managed to slow down the repairs a little bit, forcing back the engineer. See the numbers pretty close to the pop cap limit at this stage. Can't even afford another Comet, actually. Chase the squad down on retreat a bit. They actually take quite a lot of damage on retreat running past us, since I think it's crewed by assault units. The kitten comes across, but just a bit too slow to get a shot through. Maybe had to reload first still. Sherman rolling through the centre. And the pack shot and missed. Second Sherman in the build for xkos, so no Scott spam, which honestly probably would be more successful given it does have quite a lot of team weapons. And sprinting in there with the officer's heroic charge. Throwing out a gammon bomb this time around, but the mortar does get away only just. There's the suppression. Big wave of infantry rolling through. Ed's AT guns in some trouble. He did manage to get a fuel cache down. Close, excuse me, to the Tiger. 30 fuel off. Switches his focus across to the IOs, hoping to get the squad wipe. Gonna be close. Oh, the negative cover, I think, making the difference there. But now they're starting to get quite weak. Just managed to decrew the machine gun through the center. Medics having to skate out of there. Kitten lining up. Gets a snare off as well. Gets that Sherman quite low. But oh boy, the Obers. They weren't even that low. Great hit from the Comet. I think a bit unfortunate for Darthplebius. Oh boy. Oh, gets decrewed, but is in the safety zone of the base. I suppose the Comet could come through and kill this off, however. He's going to try pick it up. Yeah, I don't know about that. Gives himself a lot of manpower. Officer, though, he's got the over LG. Could even be worth considering trying to go for the Vickers K after that. Doesn't have weapon racks, but he's got, you know, a bit of resource floating. Could afford to, perhaps. Capping out the far side. So close to that Tiger now. Should be a bit of a turning point. The Allies not that well sorted when it comes to anti-tank. Quick kill on the 222. AT guns back at base, nothing to respond. Major recon pass from xkos. Nice to see that being used.
Where do you want us?
Here's the big boy, the Tiger. Darthplebius finally going to repair up this Panzer IV. Been out of action for like 6 minutes now, it seems like. Looks like both the Axis have spent a bit of munitions though. Haven't managed to save up for the stupid close air support. Couple big hits in there from the double AT guns. The Sherman still on high explosive rounds. The AT gun getting chopped up by the Grenadiers. Tiger just rolling straight through the center. Still hasn't switched this over to armor piercing. Comet's coming across the war speed. But the damage is already being done. Ambulance, Tiger, AT gun. Even the Comet quite low now, has to retreat. Smashing play, and yeah, xkos, bad reaction to that, honestly. Very slow switching over to AP rounds. Could have got out of there with more. Looks like the heavy cover has been destroyed eventually. The Pathfinder's retreating. For healthy, coming back down the side. Ooh, and gets a wipe on the assault section. Jackson's out to the side though. He's got inside the building, stalling. AT gun lining up. This could be the end of the Panzer IV. Ooh, the AT gun didn't quite get a shot off though. Jackson going to continue the chase. Panzer IV down the road trying to escape. Dumps the support though from Darthplebius. Oh, didn't quite get in snaring range. That was a close one. Tries to go for a steal on Ed's mortar. Looks like that's unsuccessful. Ed gets a bunker up in the center. Wonder if that's going to be like a command bunker or a machine gun bunker. Okay, it's machine gun. Going to guard the VP. Allies have managed to drain the Axis down quite far. The Axis seem like they're at a bit of a turning point. Second Comet is going to be a bit of a handful for Darthplebius. There's a couple shots on there with the Raket in the line. As for it's a bad matchup against the Comets. But quite a lot of resources, maybe saving for a King Tiger. And that will turn things around again. No, he's going to go for a Panther. It's also a perfectly fine choice. Speaking of planes, the Allies also have planes. Every player in this game does. And these ones are the closest to activation. British planes. Make the difference in the next engagement. Shot in there from the Comet. Backing up for repairs again. No mines. I don't think this entire match. Oh no, we saw Darthplebius get a couple before the stern pile went down. Apart from that. Booby trap. This could actually be quite nice if the Jaeger light ran out of this. The booby trap would do massive damage. But they don't trigger while the squad is in there, while your own squad. MGT crude. Booby trap goes off by retreating. Big damage. If the Jaeger lights were there though for follow-up, maybe could have killed the last model. They had to retreat though with a big flank coming through. P4 Comets coming in. Panther leading, which is what you want. There's more armor, of course. More range as well. The T-guns from Ed lining up on the Sherman. The Tiger's rolling forwards. The T-gun, a little bit low, has not started reinforcement on that. Oh boy, Sherman spinning around on the spot. Ed should be able to get the kill here. Still on high explosive with this as well. Yeah, some bad pathfinding for xkos. Doesn't seem his vehicle control is that sharp. Ed popped relief infantry. Don't know why. So maybe we're going to have to try suicide a couple models here to get the squad Osttrooping. Doesn't have anything in production either to speed up the build times. I don't think.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Would be much better off trying to save that for close air support.
Taking small arms fire.
Oh well. Get this healthy again. Repairs out the back. Only one engineer and it's a 4 model one as well, so very slow coming through. Major artillery on the AT guns. Jackson trying to get away. Don't even know how Ed had sight there. I thought he was out of vision range. Fortunate. xkos runs over some S-mines rather. Dodges away just in time with the AT guns. Didn't get decrewed by the Major's artillery. Panther though getting swarmed by the Comets. Oh, they're trying to disengage. They could have backfired on him. Stewart to pin at least one shot. Easily could have bounced to on the frontal armor. Panzer IV's coming in. The double AT guns from Ed. Maybe didn't quite have vision or something by the smoking wreck. Didn't get a shot off. Panzer IV backs away. Tiger limping home. Machine gun bunker covering up the AT guns. xkos just suiciding that Pathfinder.
They got wiped out.
He'd going for a reinforcement half track. Can't believe that we've got 4 players with planes in this match and none of them have activated them once. 35 minutes into the game. Unbelievable.
We have lost an MG team.
Panzer IV doing some work over there. He loses his machine gun out the front. GG Mortar gets a good shot in, but not going to be enough to prevent the steal. Well, that's greedy though. He sets the back up. He, by the way, did rebuild the 222. I'm not entirely sure why. He doesn't have spotting scopes in his commander. Panzer IV in some trouble. Sherman still has to pin though. P4 blitzing and decided not to chase any further. I think he should have tried to chase for one more shot, but it's alright. Panther dead. It was, I think, safe to do so. Okay, here we go. This is overdue, I'd say. A Goliath in the build for Darthplebius. Like to see it. I think against the blobs from numbers, this could have been devastating, this game. A nice Goliath shot.
The enemy cut our supply line.
Explosion. Tiger. Coming down the far side, opening up the VP capture. The VPs are rapidly turning around. I think the Axis have lost 20 in the time the Allies have lost over 100. The Tiger, yeah, indeed, getting some nasty shots. Allies now struggling for territory control. A lot of repairs required out the back. Another engineer from numbers, and that's taken to his pop cap limit. Can't even reinforce his units at the moment. It's one of those situations where you could consider killing off your medics, going for a rebuild. Just try and squeeze in a bit more into your pop cap. Well, this could be a dead squad inside a very low health building. Luckily the Comet misses, hits the ground. Panzer IV coming up this way, but without Raketen support, can't really fight back against the Comet. Been making full use of his troop transport here, ferrying those grenadiers around, healing them up perhaps as well. Bit of a friendly fire patch from the booby trap, accidentally getting detonated. Aggressive Raketen action could actually end up getting decrewed here. AT guns from Ed also rolling into harm's way.
The enemy now have 200 points.
Allies need to do something about these VPs though, they are falling way behind. After such a strong start. Okay, planes coming down over here. Comet looking to get the kill on the Panzer IV. Gave up the chase though. Sherman and Scott over here as well. The Overs could potentially go down to the anti-infantry pass. Or maybe the Jaeger Lights. I think one of them's going to get targeted by the second attack. Maybe not, because it just got annihilated anyway. Tiger rotating down this way. He'd trying to set up another bunker back here. Could actually be successful. Rebuild riflemen from xkos, 3 of them. Tiger trying to escape from a snare, and he pops a blitz and a nasty shot. This Tiger, crazy damage. And he's up and he's camping it. This mine's down as well as the bunkers. Laying down some base howitzer fire. This will be the end of the 222. It is indeed. Tried to go into hold fire mode. The Goliath went off down here. Doesn't look like it got too much though. Trying to overwhelm these team weapons frontally. Sherman getting low. Retreats with the Raketen though. Sherman would have died if the Raketen just stayed there, I think. And here comes double Panzer IVs. Got the support of numbers. He's in some trouble down here. xkos. Comet's mobilizing. Sherman goes down. Scott's in some trouble. Panzer IVs continue their chase. Could knock out the ambulance now as well. Comet with his rear armor exposed. See one more shot on the Panzer IV. AT guns rolling up for Ed out the back. Needs to attack. Setting up. No! Just got a shot off. The Tiger was there as well. And the OKW Panzer IV actually survived, and the Allies throw in the towel after that dive. Wow. What a turnaround from the Axis in this game. I think ultimately it came down to xkos, just very poor preservation. Constantly trying to make use of Shermans, but slow to switch rounds, and bad pathfinding on them as well. Like quite often having to spin around on the spot, big traffic jams. Not the best Sherman control, letting down the team a bit. Numbers played a strong game, but in the end it wasn't quite enough. Maybe there were a couple more opportunities to go for a couple chase down wipes with the Comets. I think he could have played a bit more aggressively with them, honestly, but overall pretty solid game. Strong early game from the Allies as well, denying a lot of fuel, slowed down the Axis a huge way. Darthplebius suffering a lot of wipes to those assault infantry attacks, but ultimately the Axis able to win this one in the late game. As I said, I would like to see some Goliath action early on once all the squads from Darthplebius were upgraded. Start spamming out those Goliaths, as I said, like around this area of the map while they were making those big chases. I think, you know, standing in one of these craters and then doing a small drive forwards. We've got some squad wipes going. Does require a bit of setup. Overall, strong 2-2 play from Ed, and strong AA T-gun play as well. Kept them alive, just almost got them decrewed a couple times, but able to farm up a lot of vet, and once they're high vet, incredibly powerful. But yeah, anyway guys, wrapping that. If you like good game recasts by me, details are in the video description below. Otherwise, I'll catch you all for the next throwing installment. Goodbye and good luck.